Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is official. I have finally finished watching Speed Racer on Amazon Prime. What is going on, you guys, and welcome back to another video. And yes, I have officially finished watching Speed Racer on Amazon Prime, which was made in 1967, with the characters Speed Racer himself, Trixie, Sparky, Spritle, Chim Chim, Pops Racer, Mum Racer, and best of all, Racer X, who is Speed Racer's older brother who ran away from home years ago. So today, we are going to be rating and reviewing on the TV show Speed Racer, of course. Now, I know I do rating and reviews on the movies after I go and see them in the cinema, but this video is going to be different from those series because, of course, this is a TV show, like an anime, that was made in 1960s. So I will be giving you my rating and review on what I think of it. But to start with, how did I get into Speed Racer? And what is Speed Racer all about? So Speed Racer is an anime action TV show, which is a genre, of course, and it is a teenager aspires to be the world's best race car champion with the help of his friends, family, and his father's high-tech race car, the Mach 5. So how did I get into Speed Racer? What made me watch the TV show? So, back in the days when I was young, I was on the computer most of the time. And then I went onto this website where it shows a variety of games, like racing games, and one of them appeared to be Speed Racer. But yeah, to start with, I had no idea what Speed Racer was. I didn't even know what Speed Racer was back in the day when I was young. So I looked at it, and it looked kind of interesting. So I think the game is called Speed Racer: The Great Plan. And as for that game, I thought it was quite hard, so I thought, nah, I don't want to play anymore. But then, years later, I played it afterwards, as I was growing up. I remembered that I played a game called Speed Racer, and then I thought to myself, is that a TV show? So then I looked on YouTube, and then typed in Speed Racer. And then it came up with Speed Racer Introduction. And it looked kind of familiar to the PC game. So yeah, I looked at the introduction, and I actually thought it was really interesting. It was kind of interesting. And I wasn't really sure where to watch it. So the only way to watch Speed Racer is on Amazon Prime. So, excuse me. So I went on Amazon's Prime, checked Speed Racer, and it was there. And then I had to get the subscription for it that was providing Speed Racer. So I bought the subscription to watch Speed Racer, and then I started watching it. And I think my dad, back in the 60s, watched it when he was young. Because, of course, he was born in 1958. So I think he did watch Speed Racer back in the day when it was out. Because if so, this would have been a fun fact. And as I kept watching it, I was really starting to enjoy it. And then halfway to watching Speed Racer, Amazon Prime removed it. And I was quite disappointed. But to start with, it was on a Crunchyroll subscription. It wasn't on the Crunchyroll app, but it was on the subscription service to provide Speed Racer, but now it was removed. But then, months or weeks later, whichever one, they brought back Speed Racer, and I was really happy for it, but this time with another subscription service, which of course is Shout Factory TV. So yeah, ever since they brought it back, that's when I started watching Speed Racer again. Now, before I do a rating and review on what I actually think of Speed Racer, I know you guys would say there is a film version of Speed Racer, and yes, I have seen it. So yeah, Speed Racer that was made in 2008. At first, when I started watching it, I thought it was quite woke. But the more I watched it, the better I got. And I actually thought the film was outstanding, even though some people thought it was quite woke or what, but I can understand their criticism. But my only criticism of that film was because the special effects weren't that great. But I can understand. And that's because Speed Racer film and the TV show were both made in Japan. So I should think, but don't get me wrong, I think Speed Racer and like the TV show and the film are American and Japanese. And obviously the TV show of Speed Racer is an anime because of course it is Japanese. And as for those two, like Speed Racer film and the TV show, they're actually a bit different because the film version of Speed Racer was a lot different than the TV show because it was like futuristic style. I mean, like, for example, we've got Thunderbirds, Argo, which was made in the 1960s, and then you have the film version of Thunderbirds that was made in 2004. So it is a bit like that, for example, and even with the other films as well. But as for the film version of Thunderbirds, I enjoyed it the most. Although I haven't seen all the episodes of Thunderbirds Argo that was made in the 1960s. And yes, I know there is another film version, but like in the 1960s, that takes place after all the episodes in the TV show. But as for Speed Racer, the film and the TV show, I just think they were both equally enjoyable. So everyone, we are now going to be rating and reviewing on the TV show Speed Racer. So I think you guys pretty much know the drill, and if you don't, this is what I do. To start with, I will give my overall review on what I think of it. I know I did say it was enjoyable, but here is something else to it. So yeah, I'll give my overall review on it, and then I'm going to give my rating out of 1 to 5 stars. And spoilers don't really matter, because there's episodes of it, but I do recommend watching them all in order. And you guys would probably ask me, is it really worth watching? And do I recommend this to you guys? So, anyways, my overall review on Speed Racer. Well, ever since I've been watching it at first, like, I was really enjoying it, excuse me, until the end. And ever since watching all the episodes of Speed Racer, I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm going to have to say this. It was outstanding. It was incredible. The voice actors back in the day were very well done. Including the ending to Speed Racer. That was well done. And out of 1 to 5 stars, well, I think you know it's pretty obvious. Because I say it's really enjoyable and outstanding. Honestly, it's 5 stars. I really enjoyed Speed Racer. I never thought I would enjoy it the most. I really loved it. And you guys will ask me, do I recommend this to you? Yes, I do. If you are a fan of anime, action, cars, like for example, you're a fan of cars or what, then I think you should go ahead and watch Speed Racer and see what you think. So I should think the only way you should watch Speed Racer is on Amazon Prime. but you will need the subscription service Shout Factory TV. So yeah, go ahead, watch Speed Racer. I really recommend it to you guys. I really enjoyed it, and I think you guys would love it. But in conclusion, I would happily watch this film Speed Racer again. I did watch that first before the TV show. I would happily watch that film again ever since watching all the episodes of Speed Racer that I really enjoyed the most. But anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. A like is always appreciated. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great day and night to you all. Peace out. Underwater.